Hello there, parents, and welcome into March of 2023. What can you be expecting with this month? The astrology, the energies for yourself or for your children. That is what we are going to be talking about in this video here with a hyper focus, which is perfect because this is a Virgo full moon we have coming up, and Virgo is really about being hyper focused. Of those particular energies, and as well as sprinkling in what we're all going through and will continue to go through throughout this year. We have some major astrology shifts taking place, and if you have children who are sensitive, they're going to be picking up on this and feeling it, and my guess is you as a parent are then going to be having that experience in turn through their behaviors, their electricity, their movements, their emotions, like the whole gamut depending on the child that you have. My name is Chrissy Wissler. I am an intuitive, an astrologer, but even more important, I am a parent of two magical, multi-dimensional kids. And my goodness, that has been the time what we have been going through with my children and the energy. It's really been just kind of like a hold on to your butt kind of experience, and you just surrender. So I'm going to be talking about that here in this video. And also, if you do have a child like that who is incredibly sensitive and you have no idea what to do with them, how to support them, or even to be here in this world that doesn't necessarily understand people who are sensitive, please do reach out and connect with me. I offer consulting calls for parents who are leaving that conventional, traditional path behind and moving into this whole new. And often that whole new, we have no idea what that is. So really going into the unknown with our children. I also offer Chart Your Stars, where we do birth chart readings for children or yourself and kind of really get into the nuts and bolts and understanding of who your child is and their soul's evolutionary intent and direction. So if that is interesting to you, please go to my website, chrissywissler.com, to find out more. I would love to support with you and work with you, however it is that you need. And please like this video, subscribe to this channel. That helps me so much to connect with other parents like you. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate you. And please let me know in the comments, what is it that you are needing support on? What information do you want? Do you need, like what to expect with your maybe psychically sensitive child? Like, how do you support them? How do you move through these astrology moments that are crazy? Like, what is it that you're needing help? Please let me know in the comments so I can be of service to you. I tend to have lots of experience and lots of knowledge, but what is it that you're looking for? Only you can answer that, so I would love that feedback if you'd like to share. All right, so moving into March. Now, I did a much deeper astrology dive in another video, which I will link for you. So if you just want to know that piece of it, go there. In this video, I'm going to kind of stay more high level, but looking at this from the lens of being a parent. And depending on the age of your kids, that will weave. Obviously, our toddlers and our teenagers are going to be having much different experiences. So again, we're going to kind of stay high level, and I'll give you some examples along the way to help you meet these energies instead of resisting to them. So this last week of February, and especially early March, you or your kids might have been feeling very scattered, especially mentally. Very difficult time being focused. We're having low energy, feeling sleepy and tired. That certainly was my experience. And then, of course, it's like feeling sleepy and tired. And then on the other end, my kids are just totally going crazy. It's like there's so much electricity, so much energy just swirling in the collective that they can't keep their body still, even if they tried. It's like it was not a conscious choice to not be able to sit still. So, and I noticed that in both of my kids. Kate usually has the much more emotional experience, whereas Eric is the more like, woo! But this time they were both feeling it. And then they both had moments of being incredibly emotional and breaking down and sobbing. So it's very interesting to see how this is playing out, what they've been picking up on. And then for me, it's like, I need to just sleep. I need to rest or read a book because I can't even, like, my mind, it's like I'm supposed to be doing this project here, and yet I'm like here, and I'm here, and then I'm here. So let me know how you're feeling, what your experience has been. Now, early March, we have Jupiter and Chiron are in a conjunction, and that's in Aries. It will be exact on March 11th at 14 degrees of Aries. So what is that energy? This is very warrior energy. This is around sovereignty, being an individual, a trailblazer, going to the beat of your own drum, the open roads that you or your children need to get you to going to the beat of your own drum, to self-discovery, to initiating this new path, this new experience. So, how might this be playing out? Very interesting. So I actually did a reading, which was the February reading, but I could feel even as I was doing it that it was much more expansive. And I'll link that for you as well. This rising up energy, this initiation experience, this taking a stand to reclaim and heal all those energies, especially around sovereignty, being unique and being different. So I'll link that for you. So if you feel guided, you can go check that out. But it's specifically around being a parent of these children who are unique and different, and the amount of confidence, courage, bravery required to walk that path into the unknown, to trailblaze an entirely new direction. Chiron and Jupiter conjunct. This is a healing of those energies. Healing where we were not allowed to be our unique selves. To be free, to be autonomous, to be sovereign. This, especially if you have, I'm just kind of tuning in, those children who are unique and different, you may find that there are experiences and situations coming to you, like magnetically drawn to you, that are pushing you to find your bravery, to heal this warrior spirit within you of standing up for the truth of your children and who they are. Or, of course, this can be the reverse, where your children are the ones that are standing up for themselves, maybe with you, with friends, teachers, bosses, if you have older children. So see how that might be playing out. But it's Chiron. This is the deep wound in our soul of where we were not allowed to be ourselves, to be sovereign, to be free. And there's going to be this initiation journey, this magnification of those energies so we can heal it. And it is through the wound that we can become the great healer within us, that this wound becomes a gift that we can then go and share with others. So if you are a parent of a child who's different and you're having to really kind of stand into your warrior spirit, stand in your confidence and bravery and go in this whole new direction that maybe is totally against your family beliefs, the people around you, systems, culture, society, and you know you can't do this, and yet you're doing it anyway, that you walking this path, you then become a healer in that. You become this force to show others the way, how they can move to the beat of their own drum, how they can trailblaze their own directions, because you have shown them the way. You've done this deep inner healing work, and I know it's not comfortable or easy. Chiron transits can be very intense because they're taking us right down into this unconscious, into the underworld, into the soul itself, so we can really see what's there to heal it. We also have Venus. I'm sure you've been seeing this on the news. Venus and Jupiter pictures and the kiss that they've been doing in this early March. They're exact on March 2nd. It's at 12 degrees of Aries. So Venus is kind of coming in and bringing in this new cycle starting around relationships. Maybe new relationships are coming to you, into your life. People who are having the same value around freedom and sovereignty. So it's a very beautiful energy to bring that in as well. Also, just to back up for a moment, on March 1st, we had Mercury and Saturn at 29 degrees of Aquarius, and they're conjunct. So that can be themes around new structures and systems, for revolutionary ideas, new ways of communication. Pioneering new grounds can really be like, okay, these are the new systems and structures that we can build to pioneer this new idea of how to have community around our children, around doing things differently. So there can be that experience, a potential, this new beginning that's starting, or it can also be more of a restriction at first around those new ideas and new thought processes. This Saturn coming in to say of like, no, you can't do it this way. That's not the way it's been done. That is too different. It doesn't fit in our machine. It doesn't fit the cookie cutter mold. That is not the way that we do it. So Saturn can be bringing in this kind of constriction, restriction experience, because Saturn is teaching us to not repeat those karmic cycles of the past. But let's build new foundations that are really strong and solid. Don't rush too far forward. Nope, gotta hold you back. Gotta make sure you do this right. That's some of these Saturn experiences that your children might be experiencing, or you, especially if you're like, hey, we're going to go do in this new direction, this new way of communicating with our children or having community. And Saturn's like, no, we're not going to do that. Or this could be you speaking to your children of like, no, that's not the way that we do things. That's not the way that we think. That's too different. That's too out there. That's too being a mad scientist genius. Nope, we got to do it this way and toe this line. So if that has been you as a parent and you find that your children have been really rebelling to that, that's also part of this energy. Especially true if you've got those older kids, teenagers. Yep, this might be some of your experiences. We do have tensions that are increasing throughout March in some major ways. We have Saturn moving into Pisces on March 8th, and he's going to be there for about 2.5, 3 years. And then Pluto is moving into Aquarius at the end of March on the 23rd. We've also got the March equinox on the 20th. That's the start of a new astrological year. And Pluto is currently square to the moon's nodes, and that square will be tightening through July. So, big tensions. When we have these planets shifting into new signs, it's a big deal, especially with Pluto. Pluto is in a zodiac sign for about 20 years. And the last time that when Pluto entered into Capricorn was in 2008. So it's a big thing to start to shift. This kind of energy for our children, especially the ones who are very sensitive, they are really picking up on the collective and their experience. This crumbling experience, this last degree of Capricorn is bringing up all those distortions, this top-down authority, government control, this feeling like you're in a prison. I was talking about Saturn earlier with that constriction, restriction energy. It's going to be really playing out. And our kids are feeling it. And this was part of the experience that I had with Kate and Eric, was like, oh, there's a lot going on in this collective. And they're sponges and they're soaking it up. So I had to really ask myself as a parent, what can I do to support them, to wring out that energy? And which is why we actually we're like, okay, let's leave the city and go into nature and just have lots of walks. Although Mother Nature had her own little sense of humor, because she had that big winter storm that canceled our original plans. Yosemite National Park, for example, at time of this recording, is still closed because of the heavy snowfalls. So yeah, we had to kind of roll with the punches and to be flexible. So just know that there's a lot going on in our collective. There's a lot of intensity, overwhelm, information that's going to be thrown at us as adults. And again, if you want more of that information, please see that other video. But I wanted to say here is that your children, whether they are a sponge, psychically sensitive empaths or not, they're still going to be picking up on this. The degree of that intensity will be dependent on your child, as well as even just their birth chart, where we can see where are their unique sensitivities coming in, the experiences that they're having. Like, we can actually see that as well as weaving in your experience as their parent. But that can be helpful for you to know, like, hey, this is why they're having this experience, and this is where I can help redirect that energy, because you have an idea where it's coming from. So if you're interested in that, please let me know. At this full moon on March 7th is going to be in Virgo. It's 16 degrees. So look to see where this falls in your chart or your children. The moon is going to be opposite to the sun in Pisces, right next to Neptune and Mercury. So this moon is really illuminating and shining a light on all these things that are around Virgo. This is about purifying energy. This is around the heart, the mind, old identities that are being broken down, being shed, being reborn. So just as an example, if you do have a child who is different, this could be some of your old identities, your expectations of who you thought they were going to be, breaking away and shedding to see what's actually really there. You know, just even from my experience, I was totally expecting that my kids would do, like this is the path that they would follow. I was totally expecting to have a child who was talking around age 1. And instead, They didn't start talking until age 4 and 5. And I'm still on that language journey with Eric. But that was certainly not my expectations. And I had a lot of my old identities that were being broken open through that parenting journey and experience to be reborn, to have that bathroom floor moment of sobbing and being broken open, to where I am now and continuing to grow into. So you might be having some of those experiences. It can be highlighted. This can also be around source connection, Neptune. So your children might be really kind of feeling that coming through, this bleed through of consciousness, this collective. And that can be expanding and opening for them. So pay attention and see like how this could be coming through for them if it is. This energy is also about striving for perfection and then getting stopped in our tracks when we realize that perfection is actually impossible. That's Virgo energy. Virgo wants perfect. Virgo is hypercritical, hyper-focused, refining, always making it better. And this learning that there is no perfection, that life is continually unfolding. So just kind of what pops into my mind immediately is, are you constantly striving to be a perfect parent in every single moment? And is that some of the old identities and conditioning that you might need to let go of? Or even how deeply is that rooted within you? And it's like, okay, pulled out one root. Oh, found another one. Yep, there's another one. So that could be some of your experience. You or your children might have a real feeling of overwhelm, especially in the mental body. So if that's the case, really tune into nature. Listen to soothing music. 396 hertz solfeggio frequency is one of my favorite if I'm having that anxiety and that mental overwhelm. Right, clearing that energy. And you can find all of that on YouTube as well in like 9-12 hours, and just have that playing in the background and experiment. Really, put that on and see the effect that might be having on your anxious, overwhelmed child, if that helps to ground them. We also have some dwarf planets that are really coming in strong at this full moon, especially around natural law and justice, truth. With Sedna, there's her desire, her myth is to hold on, to remain fixed, Taurus, to what has been before. And it is when she releases and lets go that all these beautiful sea creatures are birthed from her body as she sinks to the bottom of the Arctic Ocean. So where in you might you be holding on fixed beliefs, fixed ideas, fixed conditionings that once you let go of them can have this amazing and beautiful rebirth? There is this energy around rebirth. There is this energy of going into the underworld, into the unconscious, making that conscious, and then we see it, we can heal it, and we can integrate it. This is going to be happening in our personal lives. This is going to be happening within our children, as well as this collective world experience. A lot of potential chaos and turbulence as well, coming in from the March 14th and bringing us into this Aries equinox. And then the day after, we have our new moon in Aries. And then on the 23rd, Pluto dips into Aquarius. So lots of big shifts that are happening. Our children, again, really feeling this experience. So how can you, as the parent, be this pillar of calm for them, to be in the eye of the storm. But this doesn't mean being perfect. When we have those moments of fear, because we are parents, you know, this is going to be hard to move through as our world has these financial global shakeups and changes. That hits us at a core level as a parent. So it is also okay for you to be experiencing that. But the key comes in is, am I going to stay stuck in that drama and that fear, or am I going to pull myself up out of that and really hone in and focus on my dreams, on these intentions as a parent? Like, that's what's being asked of each of us, to stay within our hearts and to hold that intention. So it's like when you get sucked into the fear, because we're human, we are here in these physical bodies, okay, to see and acknowledge those parts and the feelings that we have. And then it's like moving back into center. How do we move back to our center? To be that pillar of calm for ourselves and our children. How to show them, model to them how to do that for themselves. Moving from the intensity that's going to continue to increase, this reverberation back and forth of this intense manipulative experience, going into those shadows, growing, and then whoosh, okay, now we have some slowness, some space, some connection to nature. That's going to keep increasing, especially as that square with Pluto tightens to those moon's nodes, all right? So we're going to be feeling it. And yet in that feeling it, can we find our center? And it's when we do that, that our children will be like, oh, okay, I see mom doing that. I see dad doing that. I see grandma. Then they start to embody that because you're showing them the way, including through your mistakes and including through this re-owning of the mistakes and coming to them even and saying, you know, I'm sorry I acted the way I did. I was really afraid there in that moment, and I projected that onto you. I took that onto you. So we are going into this very intense experience. If you want more, there's that other video for you. We do have some real pillars of light showing us our way forward for coming into this golden age, especially as we bring in these Kuiper belt objects. So you're not going through this alone. This is not all doom and gloom, but we do need to go into the shadows, especially as parents, because when we do that, we are showing our children how to do that for themselves. I do hope this video has been helpful and supportive for you. And again, if you're really going into these big changes and walking, trailblazing this new road, this new path that's for you, and you need support because you have no idea what you're doing, do please reach out. You can again find me at my website. And please like this video and subscribe to this channel. That truly helps me so much to connect with parents like you. And again, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for saying yes to the child that you have and for walking this whole new path that's even new and unknown to yourself. So thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.